Thursday, October 11. Here's what's making Info Hub today. We begin by telling you that President David Granger at State House on Wednesday received a distinguished jungle warrior machete from the Brazilian Army's Jungle Warfare Training Center. Stacey Carmichael tells us more in her first report for today.
President Granger accepted a jungle warrior machete from Colonel Nilton Lampert, commanding officer of the Jungle Warfare Training Center, SIGS.
I'm very proud and honored of handing for your Excellency, Mr. President David Granger, Jungle Warrior number 353.
You heard that? Proof of purchase.
Yes, who did the course in 1969. And take it and don't give it back.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to be remembered. It is an honor for me to have attended the SIGS 49 years ago, before most members of the Brazilian Army were born. And the ambassador can tell you I never go to a diplomatic reception without greeting the jungle warriors who are present. And as far as possible, I always take a photograph with them whenever there is a Brazilian National Day on the 7th of September.
Accepting the machete, the head of state described the presentation as more than a mark of friendship between Guyana and Brazil. Quote, "It is more of a demonstration of the type of cooperation that should exist on the continent. This is the way it should be, so this is an important visit and a reaffirmation of the ties not just between Guyana and Brazil, but also the two militaries and the two jungle warfare schools, the SIGS and the Jungle and Amphibious Training School in Guyana." End quote. Brazilian military attaché to Guyana, Colonel Emerson Denai de Silva, said the machete number 353 comprises a black frosted metal blade of high resistance and double cut of a lower and larger man cut and an upper and small cut in a half-moon shape. A head of a jaguar in metal is at the extremity of the handle towards the main cut, representing the animal symbol of jungle war. The handle is made of wood and is inlaid in both sides of its bolster, with the badge of the Specialist of Jungle Operations. The colonel said the jungle warriors formed by SIGS since its inception in 1966 represent a specialized group in jungle operations. President Granger trained at the SIGS in 1969, some 49 years ago. For Info Hub, Stacey Carmichael.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams today met with staff of the State Assets Recovery Agency and discussed the civil recovery of state assets as well as the State Assets Recovery Act of 2017. Stacey joins us once again.
AG Williams made his first visit to the State Assets Recovery Agency, SARA, today and held discussions with the staff. Discussions focused on challenges faced by the agency as it prepares to put forward several cases in the High Court. The Attorney General emphasized the importance of asset recovery, not only in Guyana but regionally.
This special civil recovery aspect of it, we really are in the forefront of having passed legislation in this region to create this institution that we have known as SARA. And as I indicate to you, the powers that it has. So we're serious, but of course, we have discovered that you need specialized training in many areas. Cybercrime, for example, you will have to do specialized training from investigators, prosecutors, and the judiciary.
AG Williams also restated government's commitment to the fight against corruption, noting that bribery and other crimes under the former government were allowed to fester.
Simple things. Really and truly, Mr. Simpleton, I will avoid saying that these things are among the bribery. Somebody thanking a public servant by giving them a gift, etc. So, from that lower level to the upper levels of corruption, we have been very, very strong in this fight against corruption.
The Attorney General also discussed SARA's interaction with international agencies and cooperation with other local agencies. For Info Hub, Stacey Carmichael.
As Guyana continues to strengthen its bilateral trade relations with Cuba, over 10 local companies through the Guyana Office for Investment, GoInvest, are preparing to participate in the largest annual multi-sector trade fair in Cuba from October 29 to November 2. Here's that report from Crystal Stull.
Chief Executive Officer of GoInvest, Owen Verwe, told InfoHub that this year's delegation will see more new participants entering the Cuban market. He explained that the investment office intends to showcase products ranging from timber, poultry, agro-processed items, pharmaceuticals, agriculture, and tourism.
We're hoping to have a bit more of the forestry products. Cuba's got a big boom like Jamaica going on with the tourism sector, and the demand for forest-related products is very significant in construction. We're hoping to have some of that, but also we're hoping to have the poultry product as a breaking. Cuba has significant amount of tourism, and when you look at that number to be fed, we have the potential to supply in that market.
He encourages local businesses to sign on with GoInvest to connect with international investors. Guyana's ambassador to Cuba, Haile Majid, in a recent interview in Cuba, said there was a major breakthrough in the local rice market following the last Havana Expo.
So far, for 2017 and this year up to mid-2018, we have exported to Cuba over 85,000 metric tons of rice for the Cuban market. Our target is to see if we can export up to 125,000 tons this year.
He highlighted that the lumber market has also seen increased interest this year from Cuban buyers. Ambassador Majid noted that the Guyana's consulate is aiming to expand the local market through the exports of fruits and vegetables, paints, and chicken, among other products. This year's Expo will also see the annual traditional networking dinner hosted by the ambassador with local investors and selective businesses in Cuba and various chambers of commerce. Reporting for InfoHub, Crystal Stahl.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure, in responding to a recent article published in one of the dailies, said it is aware of the current situation in Region 3, specifically in Leg 1, where farmers are frequently polluting the roadways. In response to the situation, the ministry says it has deployed a 5-member maintenance crew tasked with spraying, cleaning and clearing of roadside drains in order to prevent flooding in the area. The ministry says the article misleadingly highlighted that it was the Neighborhood Democratic Council's workers who were clearing the roadway. Farmers are urged not to drive combines or other tracked vehicles directly on the road. Further, the Public Infrastructure Ministry is asking residents to lodge complaints with Sinarai Nandra at the Leg 1 Sea Defense Head Office. Turning our attention now to the inaugural Green Guyana Expo, participating exhibitors have already begun setting up their booths at the National Stadium. Tiffany Rogers was there to get a glimpse of preparations. Let's take a look.
At least 120 businesses, non-governmental and government agencies will be displaying their green technologies at the first ever Green Guyana Expo. Some exhibitors are already preparing their displays at the National Stadium's tarmac, where the expo will be held. Among them are the Ministry of Communities. The Central Housing and Planning Authority will be displaying its low-income house, Engineer Randolph Hunt said.
The house is approximately 20 by 20. And we will be working in conjunction with the Sanitation Department of the Ministry of Communities, along with Caribbean Sun and Wind, along with H2O Guyana. These two persons will be providing some additional green technology to the building. The H2O Guyana, they will be providing a water system to basically using the solar power to provide water at adequate pressure to the building, and the Caribbean Wind and Sun will be powering the light fixtures and so using the same solar panel.
UC Rogers, Chief Engineer of Caribbean Wind and Sun, said the company welcomes the expo to explore green alternatives.
It comes at such an important time when relying on fossil energy it becomes so unstable, and especially it's from the international market. It becomes a kind of up and down roller coaster ride. So at this point in time, the renewable energy is very reliable, and to that, it could not have come sooner.
Rogers said Caribbean Wind and Sun will be powering the entire expo with wind and solar power. Chairperson of the Green Guyana Expo, Eric Phillips, noted the expo itself is a demonstration of green technology.
The main booth is where we will have, it's a different type of booth. It's a unique booth in that it's the only kind in the Caribbean. It only was brought in about 4 weeks ago by Impressions. It is 35 feet high by 85 feet wide by 200 feet deep. It's all cooled and air conditioned. It is wooden. It's not the the canvas-based frame that we use when we go to other expos. And there you will see the Green Hut, which is a concept that the Institute of Applied Science and Technology, IASC, has been developing.
The Green Guyana Expo is slated for October 18 to 20. On October 18 to 19, the Expo will facilitate a business summit at the Princess Ramada Hotel. Persons interested in participating can contact the Green Guyana Expo Secretariat on telephone numbers 672-1930 or visit their Facebook page. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
The inaugural Green Guyana Expo is almost here at the National Stadium Tarmac, October 18 to 20. Come and experience green living, green technologies, green agriculture, and so much more. Gates will be open 2 p.m. daily, and admission and secured parking is absolutely free. Enjoy live entertainment throughout the event with food and drinks and exciting games for the kids. Come out, learn green, go green. Let's experience our future together.
Welcome back. Canadian High Commissioner to Guyana Lillian Chatterjee, in observance of International Day of the Girl Child, today treated Guyanese girls to tea at her residence. Tiffany Rogers was there and filed this report.
This year, the Canadian High Commissioner Lillian Chatterjee selected 3 young girls to play the role of President, Prime Minister and High Commissioner for a day.
We invited young women in Guyana to post a video to say why the International Day of the Girl was important to them and what they thought were the issues facing young women in Guyana. And we got a wonderful response. And then we selected three candidates for the 3 positions.
The High Commission received some 20 submissions, out of which Renuka Prasad was selected to act as President, Delicia George as Prime Minister, and Sarah Mohan as Canadian High Commissioner. Today, as Guyana and the rest of the world observes International Day of the Girl Child, High Commissioner Chatterjee hosted all the candidates and winner at her residence for tea.
I have to say, I am so proud of the young women in Guyana because they are articulate, they are passionate, they are very smart, knowledgeable, and full of confidence, actually. They have more confidence than I had at their age. And so I think the future of Guyana is bright if we keep seeing these kind of videos year after year.
The High Commissioner said the competition is important since it inspires young girls.
It's important because it is allowing young women to think, yes, maybe someday I could be President of Guyana. Now, you did have a woman president many years ago, but the young women now weren't born then, so it gives them a vision that this is possible.
International Day of the Girl Child is being observed under the theme, With Her, a Skilled Girl Force. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Isaiah Braffett now tells us that a vibrant agricultural project in Carasabai is benefiting both students and farmers.
The community project started out with peanuts as its main produce. However, project coordinator Ronald Lee Bing said that they have since introduced black-eyed peas, red beans, among other cash crops and poultry rearing. Lee Bing explained that this was done to supply the hot meal programs in nearby schools.
What we did is to encourage the people in the village to start farming, doing kitchen gardens, mining livestock, to supply the hot meal kitchens. Because other than that, we have to get like chickens, we have to get it out of Brazil, which is neighboring to Carasabai village. So we have decided to have everything done locally.
Lee Bing said thus far it has been a success and that both students and farmers are appreciating the initiative. He noted that the students have healthy organic food and farmers a viable market for their produce.
Instead of they marketing their stuff in Brazil, which is a traditional practice, the hot meal kitchen now has taken over that role of taking their products. So you don't have to cross the border to take your stuff into Brazil, because basically it's not a product for money, it's a exchange of product for product. When you go over there, you take your product over there. You exchange, get food stuff, to come back in Guyana to continue farming. But in this case with the hot meal, they pay you cash. So you could use your cash now to buy stuff right in the village.
The project coordinator also pointed out that the schools are being encouraged to take up agriculture, starting with kitchen gardens. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
It is recommended that you limit consumption of calorie-defense foods and avoid sugary drinks to lower your chances of developing cancer. That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, social media, and our website at dpi.gov.gy. We leave you now with your bridge and weather reports. Goodbye.